This is Corey transmission. We found help us.
Pull up my actual words for introductions. Hello and welcome everyone back to Neon Lights Roleplay.
If only there was some kind of warning.
Well, you know, there was a countdown, and clearly I missed it. But we'll get back to that. Maybe, probably not. Tonight I get the distinct pleasure of being the game mother for tonight's episode of Last Transmission. You can already tell how the night's gonna go, folks. With me on screen here is a cast of lovely people who are all far too eager to die. Which is, you know, great, because we're using in space as our system of choice for this evening. But before we get to know them and their characters, there's a few things I want to get out of the way. Last Transmission is a sci-fi horror game, emphasis on horror. So general content warnings include gore, violence, death, body horror, and psychological horror. While I can safely say everyone at the table has a number of ways to let me know if things are getting gritty, there's only so much we can do for the viewer. If at any point the scene being played out becomes a bit too overwhelming, we highly encourage it's on mute. Step away for a few minutes until the scene is passed, and if you still feel up to it, sit back down with us to see if this motley crew makes it out. I should be in Caption Ninja.
You are not.
I am not. Let's fix
Come on down.
Let's fix that, because I closed out of the tab. That's what happened.
Absolute classics of Caption Ninja. Also, Foxy, if you were just saying something, I did not hear it.
Foxy is muted on Discord, but not on
Yo,
Caption
that's
Ninja.
crazy. I wasn't muted on Discord. That's fucking wild. Wait, how did it pick me up when I wasn't? That's so crazy. Anyway, whatever. Hi.
Starting off strong, everybody. But speaking of our motley crew, let's meet everyone in overlay order. If you would all do us the honor of introducing yourselves, your characters, and answer me this. Do you believe in a higher power?
Right, that's me first. Hey everybody, I am Turk or Turk Accented. If you are also a goofy goober, yeah. I will be playing the younger of the Lapata clan, Gavin Lapata. Does he believe in a higher power? Not really. Doesn't really see any need for there to be a higher power. I mean, got good folks out here already doing good work, so... But yeah. Don't see much point in it. With Foxy.
Okay, that's me. What's going on, friends? I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite fox, Philly's finest. And I don't know if you guys know, but when my money is low, I don't feel so well. I might be diabetic. Tonight, I get the pleasure of reprising my role as Tamawe Lopata, eldest Lopata brother, and former peacekeeper turned first mate of this crew, who all love me very much in all of my puns. Get over yourselves. As for the answer to our question for the evening, I think Tomoe believes that the moral arc of the universe bends towards good. Having said that, if there is a god anywhere in this foul, cold, fetid place, it is either dead or hates us.
All right, well, I'll just pick up the ball from there. Hi, I'm Shock Point Barrier. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's in for a good night. So I'm reprising my role as Teo Shardy, the ever lovable AI who decided to get into a meat suit. So, yeah, he's not having a good time at this facility in the least bit. With everything going wrong. But on the question of does he believe in a higher power, he is in a similar position, I would say, technically speaking, uh, as the elder of the Potter brothers. That he's of the opinion that the universe doesn't have a moral arc to lean in one direction or another, and he has run way too many numbers to even really say if there is a higher power or not. But he's more of the opinion that if there is a higher power, they don't give a damn. They don't hate us, but neither do they love us. They genuinely do not care.
Guess that's me. Hey everybody, I'm Legendary Vermin. Tonight I'm going to be playing F43, otherwise known as Faye Castilian, our local clone captain of this moving pile of flesh, soon to be rubble, that we call the crew of the Emperor Shrike. As a clone soldier, does Faye believe in a higher power? The answer is yes. In all of their infinite wisdom, the research team behind the cloning program made basically a genetic inevitability. They discovered that soldiers who believed in a higher power, along with all of their comrades, were more likely to stand down impossible odds together. And so every clone that was manufactured during the war, after about the second or third generation, is physically incapable of not believing in a higher power. What they do about that is up to them.
They do is questionable sometimes. When we last left off, you guys were making your way to medical. And on in on the top left.
Here's switch.
Walls are silent, save for the eerie groaning of metal. Low power lights pulse, and the only guide as you make your trek. Steel falls towards medical. The stench of blood and rot seems to grow, inflaming decay. And we'd done some rolls last time to see if you'd managed to creep your way past the bulk of the abominations, which you succeeded on. You were able to get away from. And signs pointing the way, and the lights. The door to medical is just down the hall.
I'm shaking my my head for the audience at home because we don't have Fog of War on, and gang, there's a lot of blood in there.
Not shocked by it. Everything's fine.
It's
I
the
only see
medical
what the
room. It's where
audience
where the
sees.
blood goes, right?
I don't believe in fog
I don't think
not
the
because
blood
I
is
don't know
supposed
how
to be
use
there.
it.
Would the front entrance be this way, or?
There are two entrances. The main front would be down.
Yeah, it looks like the main bay is
Down.
down here.
All right. Well, I'm ready to start heading down that way.
Yeah, let's do it.
Agreed. As a unit, shall we?
Oh, all right. We can.
Well, clearly not.
We're not good at this moving everyone's tokens at the same time situation.
Hey, listen, we'll time it out. All right, everyone
Eventually,
line up at the
one day.
door. Everyone line up at the door. We're all gonna move to the door on 3. All right.
The
1.
door
You
leading
first.
into medical is sealed shut.
Fuck.
A yellow glow emitting from the terminal beside it. Large symbol accompanied by the word quarantine blazing on the screen.
Do we have any badges from somebody who worked at medical?
You do not.
Okay. Do we have any badges from somebody? I like Faye. As soon as she sees that, is just going to start trying badges one by one and seeing if any of them like have like a director level override that can happen.
I mean, someone did hack themselves access to engineering terminals.
Yeah, and we have his card, I believe.
That was James.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was James, and surprisingly, his card does not work.
Asshole.
But it
Tweet
did
from
not hacking
the
into
grave.
medical.
Well, think we could get it open the old-fashioned way?
How about we try a little bit more of a finesse style before we go old school on these doors?
I'm just hypothesizing here.
I would prefer having the ability to shut them up behind us.
Hard to argue with that.
Well, go for it. You find an access panel, and I'd like to look over the entryway, see if there is something set up there or for the bad readers.
Is there such a access panel that I could, tap in and try and brute force an override?
Keep that, sorry.
I was asking, is there any sort of control panel that I could access to try and brute force an override on these doors?
Yes, there is a door terminal beside you.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Do you mind if I roll a tech to see if I can hack the doors open?
No, you are not allowed to roll tech. Yes, please make the roll.
Thank you.
You
I thought you were being serious. I was like, God damn, that's us.
Well, that's a
Can't use a
6.
spec roll. It's nothing but pneumatic tubes and gnomes.
So that is a failure on your part, so that is a lockout. You give yourself a void point.
Mm-hmm.
While Teo is completely failing to get us entry, is there any kind of like porthole that Faye can stick her eye up against to see into this area?
Yes, but you're not really seeing a lot. Much like the halls, it's all the low lights, basically.
I see.
You're able to see in bits and corners, but most of it is just dark.
Okay. I assume we have flashlights. If I kind of like stick my flashlight up next to my chin and I see anything.
That
of
always
note.
never made sense to me because flashlights would just reflect the light back. But
But if you get it right up against the glass, then you kind of limit that.
Get a little bit of a ways.
It might not work. I don't know. You're the knower of things.
Get a bit of a ways and you spot something that might concern you, which is, yes, there is what appears to be something spattered across the floor. Could be blood, could be grime.
Well, we may have found one of our ground zeros.
Meaning there's probably some answers in there.
That was the hope.
Well,
So,
any luck on hacking it?
Unfortunately, no. I think I just got locked out.
All right then. We tried the human approach.
The brute force
It's me,
method?
by the way. I'm the human approach. It's my middle name, actually. Samoe, the human approach, Lapata.
Isn't that like your fourth middle name?
My parents were very into sadness.
Yes.
All right, fine.
So can I body it?
You can body it.
So I only added all 3 because I recently buffed this to +3, so it felt appropriate.
Yeah, that's the only reason you did it.
So the die landed in this cup of soda in this soda cap. So I want you all to know it's a nat 20 that I didn't fudge. Okay, that's a 20 I didn't fudge. Like,
Nox does not
I'm
believe you.
23. All right, well Knox can pull up and fight. Fuck, like.
There's a hiss from sealed air that rushes past you as you manage to get the sliver of this panel door open.
Find a gap. And quickly, please.
Didn't one of us get a
A maintenance check?
yeah.
Actually,
That would be Tomoe who got the maintenance check.
it would be me.
I'll pull that off your back and stick it in the space that you've made and start cranking.
Huh. Well, I guess I'm leaving that in the door.
We'll be sure to grab it on our way out.
Yeah. Little...
Wonderful. I'm afraid for whatever's in here, though.
So,
Trying to decide if Faye would hand over Petunia for anyone or anything. I think the answer is no.
That's okay.
So, we should probably head on in, though. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Take a little peek on inside, then.
Not to you all?
oh. Now that you're getting the broader scope of the room, it appears to be some shambled wreck of waiting. There's blood. Looks like a fight broke out, but the abominations haven't been here in what appears to be quite some time. There's nothing but really just blood and viscera.
Does this look like old blood and viscera?
Yes.
Do I even see the blood with my vision still in matrix mode?
No.
I assume this is like a lobby desk of some kind.
Yeah.
I'll head over and see if there's a working terminal or something.
It is still kind of in lockdown mode.
God damn it. Sorry if I take a little tick trying to unlock this computer, see if I can't get access.
Go forth, do great things.
Well, I'll try, but, you know, no promises. Let's give it a good old tech roll, yeah? 12 with +2.
Ooh.
12 is enough. You get this thing open. And for the most part, it's a basic terminal with a list of names, dates, and brief lists of symptoms, essentially. This is what passed as triage. Why are you here?
Me?
For the patients, like, why are you here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, why are you here? I don't know. I thought it'd be kind of fun to
Why
hang
are
out
you
with,
here?
with
Come
my
on.
friends and, you know.
The computer just like asking you point blank, why are you
I was like, this is either going to be very scary, like the right kind of mean that I, no comment, or like you talking to your cat. Anyway,
My cat's not down here, so
okay, well,
remove that from the equation.
50-50 shot, and I got it wrong. Anyway, Yeah, if it's possible to get that data downloaded, I'll give it a quick look over while the rest of the team explores. I can be doing that as everyone else is exploring the horror.
Have any luck?
Oh, I got it open, but well, it's just reception. Nothing fancy. No access anywhere else.
Hey, Mama, there's a door up ahead of me. I'm seeing separating this room and another room beyond it. That looking locked?
Yep. Same thing, quarantine lockdown. Although now it is flashing with quarantine breached.
Tomoe will point at the door and just, I didn't work on these.
I'll flip through, see if I can has any door access.
There is not.
Nah. Gonna have to figure out some way to lift lockdown. Gonna do anything. Probably gonna need to find some kind of administrative terminal.
Indeed. Which I assume would be further in. Hence, past this door.
Well, better caulk up those hands again.
Oh, yeah.
Faye will go over to the people who actually live here and ask them, any idea where admin for the medical sector was? Is it adjoining? Is there more than one entrance?
I would. And Delilah says I can imagine that the overseeing admiral would be in Corey's office. That, or maybe there's a terminal that's in the treatment room.
The treatment room being.
There were doors off on the left as we were walking in. Do you know if those connect to the rest of the medical facility?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me go see if there is a more cooperative panel over there.
Someone should go with you. Walking alone probably isn't a bad idea.
You coming or what?
I'll volunteer. Guess I'm still leaving my jack behind though, in case y'all need to leave that room. So we barehanded it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we cruise around to the smaller doors. Is there like an access panel here, or do any of the key cards work? I'd probably try the key cards first.
No on the key cards, but there is an access point.
Okay.
And Ben is joining you.
Hello, Ben.
All right.
I don't say that.
Tomoe's
That's
like,
not in character.
Tomoe, as they're walking, is like, huh. It's almost they've had a moment to walk together and to walk together alone. Oh, hi, Ben.
If it helps any, he'll be like a few steps behind you. It's really just
No, it's fine.
kind of turn your head and barely notice him.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's happening, and Faye, is kind of not like ignoring Tomoe, saying like they haven't had a moment alone, but is like, I think Faye has this pattern of behavior where when she gets her teeth into something that like she doesn't understand, she's kind of like a dog that won't let go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so whatever the infection is, if it is an infection, the quarantine that they did here seems like it held, because we had that hiss of air as we approached, and it still got out. So that either means that this was not case 0, patient 0, and
Well, they didn't get locked down fast enough.
one of the two. And with
All
that,
right, well,
she goes to the access panel, hits it with the side of the cane, and then pries it open with the like hooked side, so that she can take a crack at hacking it.
well, so you're nose deep in this, so I won't bother you too much until you get it all figured out. I'm right here, though.
I do two things at once.
Just making sure you're okay. That's all. Haven't had a time check on you since we got down in all this.
I rolled an 11. Is that a pass?
12s are passes.
12s are passes. I don't spend a void point.
Boy.
That didn't do anything. I
Useless
fail.
boy.
Oh no. Ben is you kind of struggle a bit. And so I can take a crack at it if you want.
By all means. As he kind of squats down to take a look, turns out she can't actually multitask. Whatever's going on here, it's as bad as the war. Worse, in some ways.
I won't disagree.
I don't know. Even if we get off when we get off the rock with as many people as we can carry, we're not going to get paid out well for this. Whatever corpo stuck these people out here won't consider this their liability, and they won't pay.
No. They'll be back to Nutrigrain rations or Nutribar rations for the next month or two, I'm certain, afterwards. But at the very least, when we sit around our table with our lights blinking off and our graph drive barely powered, we'll feel good about having done some good in the galaxy, yeah?
Until the need for therapy catches up with us.
Oh, well, I've been dodging that for a pretty long time now, so I'm hoping it just won't catch up with me at any point.
It's bizarre. I expected the rest of us to be vulnerable to whatever's going on here. We're just flesh and blood. But Teo having some kind of malfunction.
It makes this thing beyond us.
Didn't think you for a believer in the supernatural.
Not in that sense. Beyond us in scale. Whatever this thing is capable of doing, we've not seen its full scope yet. It's powerful on a scale that is awe-inspiring. Supernatural or not. Difference between science and magic and all that. Hits a certain point, everything in the galaxy looks this bad. You stop thinking about what's worse and start thinking about who you can save from it. The answer never satisfies you, but you try anyway.
Takes a minute, but as you're having your conversation, Ben does get the access panel working, and
Big
door
Betty.
opens. I love Ben here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ben. After you, Captain. I'm right behind you.
Yeah. Which zone in here is labeled Dr. Corey's office?
Would be this one. One next to you is labeled Dr. Daniel Ludworth.
Okay.
Anything in file about a Ludworth?
Are the doors locked?
Chorus is not.
Well, that's a fine bit of luck. And
Finally.
she'll shuffle on in and go to the terminal.
Oh, now this is an office. You said you'd give me an office that Chief made on the strike. I didn't expect it to be a supply closet. This is an office.
Look, if I could have given you an officer's cabin on the strike when it was a whole ship, I'd have done that. They don't let you keep the whole thing when you turn it into a rescue tug.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just complaining.
This office is very messy, almost in organized chaos.
Mine would be that way too.
Doctors were supposed to keep things in order. That's why they call them orderlies.
Ah,
I'm glad the crew isn't here to witness and suffer through this. Just me.
Oh, come on, Ben. You like that one, right?
that was pretty good.
How many bolts you got left, Ben? If you want to blow one on yourself, it's totally fine. We won't blame you.
It's a waste of a bolt.
Well-
Terminal-wise, my two biggest interests and concerns would be: do I have cameras into anywhere else? And do I see any kind of like quarantine override or quarantine notes?
Well, first steps first, this terminal is locked. It's meant to be locked specifically to Ori or another attending.
I got this. Surely I will be able to unlock this electronic lock.
Certainly.
Motherfuck. I'm not gonna try again. She taps on it for a minute and then it's just like, Ben, I could use your technical assistance.
Yeah, sure thing.
While Ben taps in over there, anything exciting or interesting over here on the shelf, or am I just looking around like a dumbass?
You're finding that along the walls, and mostly this one is, like those light panels that you put scans up on. A couple of those, and boards with thumbtacks, like a thumbtack board, and there's
Okay.
different files on the shelves. Some parts of them stuck up on the board, and scans up on the lights. That are currently not on, so it's difficult to discern what they are. It's mostly a lot of file notes. So some of them are very
Anything-
hasty.
Go, please.
Sorry.
Please. No, please. You're fine.
What catches your eye, probably more so than anything else, is there are a few of them across. A couple of them that are laid up on the board is written in what appears to be a red marker. We'll all return to the river.
All right. Well, I'm not sure what river this doctor means, but something told me this is important.
You would remember that from the very first encounter you had in Transit Hub, the initial landing hub, where it was written on the walls too.
Right. Well, I guess, Cap, Ben, get a look at this.
Oh, joy.
Well, we know this thing can make people lose their sense of selves. Any chance patient 0 or maybe patient 1 or 2 was the doctor?
Seems unlikely. The problems only started once they had cracked the geode.
Hmm. Anything about that geode on the board here, by the way, Mother of Game?
Outside of no, there's not really.
Hmm. Where the top? Well,
Taps a couple of keys and says, "Okay, go." Well, the terminal unlocks. And your options are there, open.
What do I
we
see?
appreciate your reliability, Ben.
Well, they always send for me when they need someone to reprogram these damn things. So what you've got access to is first and foremost, there's a panel up for the quarantine. There is one camera, and that is pointing into the main treatment room.
Is there any movement on that camera?
There is not.
Do I have any ability to like flick the lights on and off really fast?
From here, no.
Okay.
And then there's also
Anything on screen? Sorry, go ahead.
there's also a bank of personal logs and medical logs.
Ooh. Oh.
I think so. Can you ping the corner of the room that the camera's in? Okay. Okay, so I'd be able to see.
See the doors, most of the doors, scope of the room.
Hey, Gav.
Yeah, what's up?
We have the ability to lift the quarantine from this end. Only corner of the room I can't see up ahead is on your right, far right corner. So let me know when you're ready and we'll lift quarantine.
Oh,
Wait at my other end of the door. Shouldn't let you go through alone.
all right. About to lift quarantine, folks. Let's get ready on those doors.
All right.
Hey, Delilah, why don't you get behind the
Oh,
desk
Captain.
here, just in case.
I can do that.
All right, we're ready for it.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. She hits the button.
Air
Just
rushes
jump
past
through.
cold air rushes past you out of the room.
Right.
All right.
How's it looking in there? Any crab friends?
Nothing pincery over here. Bodies, though. And more blood. Lots of it.
Good news, I don't see anything moving.
Bad news. Whatever moved through here moved through violently.
So, as you've already ascertained, this is the main treatment room. It's also almost beyond recognition. Quite a bit more blood, with a few bodies to accompany it. A lot of them look like they've been torn apart, but there are some that have been partially mutated that look untouched.
Some of these look dead. Others just look changed.
There's not big enough holes in them to be guaranteed dead. You fix that.
Working on it. I'm gonna slowly
we-
approach the nearest.
Are we talking double tap or funeral power approach?
Let's start with double tapping first. We'll save the pyre for anything still moving. And yeah, let me move towards the nearest still intact looking mutated corpse. Which one? Where am I going? What's my destination? Oh, up, up. Oh, up, up. All right. Uh, as I'm getting close to this corpse, is it making any kind of motion as as I get close? I'm gonna make my footfalls not like I'm stomping on the ground, but I'm gonna make them deliberately a little heavier as I'm getting closer to see if it reacts at all.
There is no reaction.
All right. I'm gonna point my pistol at it. I'm gonna step a little bit closer. I'm gonna nudge it with my foot.
The head kind of puts it aside, and all you're seeing is a blank stare.
You deserve some rest. I'm sorry. And I'll put a round in the head. Well, they're alive, I think. But they're not threatening. Let's put them out of their misery.
Wait, they were alive?
Oh shit.
Oh, close all those. This is the easiest way to do this. Just close them.
Close all what? I didn't see it. I don't know anything. It's not. What do you
Nothing.
mean?
Absolutely nothing.
It didn't happen. It wasn't real.
I forgot hitting show to players means it literally shows it, so
Yeah, literally pops it on up the right on front of that screen, front and
Yep.
center.
front and center.
All right,
So
Teo, let's save our flame. Just put these things down quickly.
All right. Just out of curiosity, I didn't really get the. They're still alive. I thought they were just, plain dead stare, as in they're still dead.
they're dead.
Oh, maybe. Okay, cool. Well, then I misread that entirely. Then never mind. Scratch that entirely. They're fully dead. Let's just double tap to make sure and move on.
All right. Just keep my head on a swivel, and I'll look through the room while you go around and.
There
Do my
are
work.
there are quite a few bodies in here, more than you probably expected. There's 10 or 12.
Yeah, if you can, don't use bullets.
Great. Yeah. Do you mind bringing that jack out of the door if you get a moment?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll go grab it. All right, come on, let's
Let's see, where is.
About to go all fucking ass to wrap the grim on these motherfuckers. It's gonna get real fucking bad in here.
pause upon hearing that rattling, but
So that popped up. Teo noticed it first as you got close to the paneling, glass pane on the side of the room.
Of course. There had to be something moving here.
Pane is splattered with blood. It looks like something repeatedly smacking something against the wall. And behind it, you can see some movement from something very large, taller than a man.
Joyous. Yeah, if I double time that jack, we aren't alone.
you got it.
Is the jack necessary at this point? In the
I
door?
mean, we could just shoot it to bits.
No, in the
Oh, you
in
meant
the
the door.
exterior.
You meant the door.
No, and in the outside door, the maintenance check isn't really needed anymore.
Perfect. I'll pull it out.
Please.
Head through the door here and. Hey, here you go. What the hell's back there?
Thank you kindly. I'm assuming one of our friends we've been running into in our time here. Possibly even one of the first if that's a quarantine room.
He does not look happy.
Have they ever?
Right, well, I am gonna go take a quick little step over here and, Captain,
Teo.
Captain, you already, on your way down?
Faye is downloading anything she can off of the computer. Um, just a second, trying to make sure that we don't lose anything in the shuffle. Where do you need me?
While you're on it, can you open the quarantine room from there? Not yet.
Can I?
Yeah.
Theo, I'd find somewhere comfortable to be.
I mean,
Do you want me to open that room?
We came here to get answers, yes?
Yeah, but not to let something that's contained out before we know what it is.
Give me a
Well,
minute
answers are
to
behind.
give me a minute to scroll through these records. This has been they've known about this since at least the second day after they cracked open the geode.
I'm so very tempted, Game Mother, to ask if I could crib some notes from Dead Space 2 and how you get the plasma cutter in that.
Not giving you a plasma cutter. Not here. Talk to me when we reach engineering.
Fair
Go
enough, fair
to engineering.
Alright. Because while I do love the plasma torch I've been carrying around and the fact that we're kind of turned it into a flamethrower, I want an actual gun at some point.
Shit.
Tamoy will fully turn in his service pistol and flip it on and hold the muzzle. For now.
For now. Yeah, I'll take it. You sure?
I've done those than I am. Don't like
Flamethrower.
it.
You have the flamethrower.
Yes.
Well, hey, you don't want to burn all of our ammo in that. What if we gotta do? Listen, we gotta conserve our resources.
You don't want to use all your bullets too. That's gonna be really hard pressed to find.
I'd rather use bullets than use flame.
Speaking of, is there anything in medical right now around us that I could use as impromptu flamethrower fuel? Like an oxygen tank or something?
On the shelves, there's plenty of bottles of alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol.
Runs right.
Alright.
Cool.
And also, Bali is right. Flame doesn't do nothing in a vacuum. Unless you have an oxidant, an oxidizer.
I'm on my way. Ben, come with.
Anything in the records worth noting?
We'll talk once you're less keen on opening that door.
You sound like I should be, so I'll wait.
So
Damn, you're
is
fast.
the thing can we see the thing from here through the what looks like glass right there?
I'm gonna show it to you, but under the guise of this glass pane has blood just smeared almost entirely across it. So what you're seeing is mostly a shadow and a best guess.
Oh god.
That's a big one.
But overall, it looks like that glass is holding.
I'm gonna check out the rest of the facility here. And you know what that
Fair
thing
enough.
is?
It looks like one of the big ones.
Well, yeah, but
Indeed.
did they take notes on it?
The terminal that I've already looked at only talks about the start and spread of the infection.
All right, well, I'll check out storage over here. I'll be on comms. I'm gonna try to head through this door. And...
We shouldn't give our backs to this thing. I'm gonna stand right here.
Yeah, I think that's probably wise. I'm gonna stay right here.
Well, I'm not.
So, Gavin, what you walked into is a morgue. There are 3 bodies in here.
Yes.
They look like just regular wounded and dead, rather. Dead.
Are they crab bodies?
They are people. People.
Not crab people. Got it.
Well, not crabs.
Not people crabs, certainly.
I go over and check whose bodies are these. If they have any identification on the table, toe tags.
One of them is Daniel. Another is Joseph Deerling. And a Maggie Sawyer.
I found the morgue. There's 3 dead. Got
dates on those toe tags?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So all of the dates are prior to December 8th.
Everything before December 8th, so... for that James and Carey expedition.
Yeah. Alright. Duly noted. Probably not infected.
I have my dates backwards.
Oh?
You have your dates backwards?
I think I do have I think I put the dates backwards.
We were right. It is a time paradox. Fuck.
That's on me. I put the dates backwards.
Even the game mummy's caught in the time paradox. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We're all fucked, guys. It's over. We're all fucked. It's so over.
Do you
No,
just
we were
mean
so back.
vertically on the
No, I
medical thing?
No, I didn't. I gave you the wrong date, though. It was all before the 27th.
Oh, before the 27th?
Yeah. I was looking at the wrong thing.
27th?
Okay. Non-zero chance that they are infected.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not really checking out their situations too deeply.
You still have your sampling kit?
Do I still have my sampling kit? Of course, I still have my sampling kit.
Well, then. Grab a deli slice, as it were.
Feels a bit disrespectful to call that of the dead, but
You called it to Ron!
yeah. Well, Ron's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah, that's Ron.
I like Ron.
Yeah, exactly.
You can like Ron, but
I take a note quickly before I begin doing any kind of mortuary business.
Where you start grabbing meat?
Before I start getting any meat, I do want to see if there's any prior incisions. Like, does someone performed an autopsy on these corpses already?
There was one done on Maggie.
Right. I can work. Yeah, go for it.
But Joseph and Daniel looks like they weren't addressed. And if you open the bags and take a look at them, or rather the shelves. It looks like they both got attacked by what you likely suspect was one of your crab people. Deep, deep slashes across the chest.
And Maggie also had that fate?
She had, yeah, she did.
Okay. Yeah, looks like all three of these were attacked. Gonna be not too hard to see why they ended up here, but probably not gonna learn anything we wouldn't get from splitting open any other corpses.
Well, there's one more place we haven't looked. Also, is
Delilah.
Delilah was told to stay behind the desk. She is staying behind the desk.
Just making sure she's not wandered off.
She is prone to do that.
I stick my head in and check on her before.
Yeah, she's sitting at the terminal. You can see she's kind of looking through it.
All right. Oh, I did take the medical intake. Were these three treated at all, or were they brought in dead on arrival?
Daniel was treated. It seems that he was actually hurt while here. But Joseph, well, Maggie was dead on arrival. Joseph was dying.
All right. Well, unless anything else jumps out at me as far as information, I think strike in and move on.
How would you phrase it like that?
I know what I'm baiting.
Not
Sometimes you
baiting
invite-
anything.
You sure?
Sometimes you invite disaster because they're good company.
It's fair.
Well, I'm heading, checking out the office doors, I suppose, on the way back.
Let's see if we can't get into the Dr. Ludworth's office.
Go on. I'll keep watch.
Yep, same here.
What's that door situation look like now that lockdown's lifted?
Door's open.
Oh,
Oh, we love an open door.
I do.
Love an open.
So this office, whereas the office next door looked very much like in Chief's office, you'd expect meetings there. The official face of the medical wing. This one is more like an actual lab. So the walls are covered in equipment, storage, plenty of samples in chilled fridges.
can you make any sense of that with your science mumbo jumbo?
Science mumbo jumbo? Really?
You know what I mean.
You know what the fuck she said?
I didn't stammer.
You goddamn jumbo. Motherfucker.
I'll try and make heads or tails of the situation here.
I go to the terminal myself.
Terminal is locked to a personal account. As far as trying to make heads or tails of what's going on in here, do a savvy roll.
All right. Yeah. 15 on the die plus 0 for 15.
Been of my dice today. I
Or your dice not a fan of you.
I made another attempt at cracking a password, and I failed again. So I'm taking the void point.
Oof.
I thought you
Oof.
said boy point. I was like,
Paging Chief Technical Officer Carlson. Please report to Dr. Ludworth's office for another fucking password.
you're playing your song, Big Ben. Go on. There you should go with it. Just in case you need help with tech jargon.
You sure?
Oh, what's the problem? You think you'll be call issue for me?
Teo,
Just give
stay
me some
there.
plexiglass right now.
Oh, hey, look at that. Captain's orders.
I like imagining this
Captain.
argument was just on comms.
Razzle, frazzle, Captain, whatever. Fine.
So, plugging away at the terminal, as far as what you're finding with going through what was being worked on, looks like they were studying samples of people that were coming in mutated or sick, trying to figure out what was going on there and if there was something that they could do about it.
Yeah. Looks like Doc was working on the problem of the day. Don't know if he quite solved anything about it, but I'll check out any physical files and stuff he's got going.
Plenty of files, all very hastily scribbled in. And some
So a doctor.
yeah, so some concerning notes. You can't tell if maybe it was just notes from talking to patients or maybe it was his own ideations, but some stuff in the similar vein as what was seen in Cora's office. If we'll all return to the river soon. Scribbled in corners. Light drawings. Chicken scratch. Pretty much everywhere. As far as what they found, as you're going through these notes, you would suspect that these samples came from, they weren't notated, healthy living people. So these samples are long dried up, dead. No signs of illness from the note. According to the notes, no signs of illness, no explanation for this, what appears to be a genetic mutation.
Just more of the same dead ends we've been used to dealing with.
They didn't find anything in the tissue? No biologic agents?
Genetic. It's like viral infection to the max. At least that's what I'm getting from here. Once you check out the files on his computer, maybe he wrote something down, but...
You're telling me that they didn't find any evidence of a virus or a bacteria or...
Nothing they isolated in time. I'm guessing they had enough people coming in with injuries and, you know, just increased aggression and malaise and other symptoms that they didn't have enough time before folks started turning. All hands on deck sedating and trying to clean wounds. Well, don't need much time for researching.
Something beyond our scale.
Hey, we got plenty of time. Proper lab, research teams, few samples. You crack this if it's just an infection.
slams her cane on the desk. Don't tell me they found nothing. You don't just miss viral tissue. You don't just miss bacteria. You're telling me that these people came in here with spontaneous genetic mutations.
Yeah. They came from that, well, I assume, whatever they were digging, infected folk. I mean, what'd you see on the doctor's laptop? You're the one looking at the files over there.
Faye kind of grimaces and all that I saw was that they couldn't figure out why cleaning the wounds wasn't helping.
Well, the chronic tissue spreads. I was sure enough about that in our last little rest stop. It just gets worse if you cut it away. Or at least it hasn't improved. I don't know. Again, maybe he's got something on his computer. Ben, you got any luck getting into that?
Got it. And a couple more keystrokes. Terminal unlocks. Most of what you find on it is, well, one, it's got the same camera view that's accessible in Cora's office. Lists and lists of logs and results from lab tests. A lot of notation from the recent ones. Basically going, this doesn't make any fucking sense. There was a point where he said that he felt like there was a point in it, I didn't write up, forgot to, but it looks like there was a recent point before he died that starting to feel the onset of some of the same symptoms, the delirium, the hostility. So he was starting to run blood work and tests on himself. See if he could find something in the early stages. And they're outside of some increased chemical balances, spikes that are associated normally with psychosis. There wasn't anything, no viral infection or bacterium.
Do we have Geiger counters or anything like built into our suits? Like
What?
Huh?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Faye is gonna flip on her Geiger counter radiation detector and like go out to the corpses in the treatment room and just point the Geiger counter at each of them and point it kind of like through the wall at the big guy and flip it between settings looking for anything that pings. I assume this is completely futile.
For the most part, yeah. It's baseline for the readings that you got when you first left the Shrike.
So, hypotheses?
Well, can tell, everyone on this godforsaken station had somehow the same underlying genetic markers that set off some kind of genetic mutation after they cracked open the geode. Now we know something was taken out of there. It was only after that something was taken out of there, somewhere at the back of the cavern, that our good friends Carrie and oh god, what's his name? James started to experience their symptoms of psychosis and run away from the lab. After which, whatever has been infecting people started occurring in multiple different locations. They didn't quarantine the mining crew until after James and Carrie had run about the station for a number of days. Long story short, the fuck if I know.
You said these people all had the same genetic marker, approximately after the geo was either mined or removed.
Complete speculation.
Further speculation then, whatever things in the geode altered the genetic code.
How do you assume? There's no radiation. None of them are irradiated.
Seeing strange alien codes from another reality, I am hallucinating a dead wife, pictures in necrotic in ways that we can't, grab people that are walking around, several things that are happening that we can't explain. I'm not going to give you a definitive answer. All I have right now are possibilities.
If we're shooting possibilities out of here, it's also a thing that just a human being, but what if whatever's happening to them isn't a change in the genetic code? What if whatever's going on is more already's been there, and whatever's doing this just triggers some dormant genes?
I won't entertain that.
Just needed then.
That's, well, anything's possible at this point, so.
Even if it was the fucking case, who hides a weapon that can activate simultaneous genetic mutations across people who have a variety of backgrounds from around the galaxy, turning them into fucking crab people?
How do you stop a
hides it in a geode full of fuel on a backwater moon in the middle of goddamn nowhere? None of it makes any goddamn sense.
Someone who planned on using it.
Unless it was a failsafe.
What do you mean a failsafe?
How would you go about stopping a von Neumann probe?
Back up like 15 steps. What the fuck is a von Neumann probe?
A von Neumann probe is a quasi-theoretical device where it has all the necessary parts, all the necessary equipment of gathering resources and building copies of itself and launching them further into space.
Well, yeah, I watched a documentary on one of these once. The idea is that because they can make more of themselves self-sufficiently without any issue, if you sent a couple of them out into the galaxy or into the universe, they can explore and theoretically be all over the entire universe in, what, a couple generations?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back to your original question. How do you stop a von Neumann probe?
Simple. You build in a faulty system that you can trigger whenever you need to. The probe doesn't know what's faulty or not. They just replicate. So if they go somewhere that you don't want them to go, or they grow beyond your level of control, you just trigger.
Probe finds the geodes, uses that to replicate, and the system goes into failsafe, assumingly similarly to what happens to you.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Teo. Are you fucking suggesting that humanity is a goddamn von Neumann probe?
Potentially.
Or worse, if humanity already went to war with the concept of AI before, what if the idea is to prepare something that could deal with it if it happens again? Case in point, why they hit it.
I still think it's aliens, but that's just me in
I'd
the
act-
office.
At
Think
this
of it like
point,
this.
I'd rather it be.
Think of it like this. In all of humanity's history, have we ever came across another living alien civilization?
Game Mother.
Let's see, real quick game with it. Have we?
No.
Sorry, I just have to.
Terrifying.
I love the caption ninja. Instead of saying game mother, sometimes they'll say game mother.
I mean, same.
It's right. It's right. I mean,
Anyway.
We're set.
After decades, centuries of space exploration, we've finally solved the Fermi paradox in the worst way possible.
You're saying this thing's a great filter.
Either something set us up to explore the galaxy on its behalf, and we came across the red line, or this is, in fact, a great filter for all of life.
Faye is audibly grinding her teeth.
Well, that's several possibilities, several of which more horrifying than the ones before them. Where do
I'm
we go from
sorry,
here?
I am facing a total system failure right now. I have no level of sugarcoating left in me.
So we've got several possibilities. What's left is to prune them till we get an answer.
I was gonna look at Gavin and say, would it be worth it to try to repeat some of these tests? I mean, we know we know at least very minimum Delilah's been having symptoms, and she's product. Friends too. I hate to say it, but we've got 5 specimens locked up in another room.
Medical Officer Gavin Lapata, it's your call to make.
What, you think I can control that thing? Just saddle on in there and, get
Any tests that you wish to perform, we will support you into the best of our ability.
You leave keeping that thing still to me. You want to test, you want to run, it'll get done.
Either one on Delilah, Tumblewing. It's your call to make. Game Mother.
Yes.
The distress signal that we originally received, were we able to decipher any date stamping from it?
No. Seems like maybe it was put on a loop.
Yeah.
So there's no way to determine when the actual date it went out was.
I don't know. Did mention Corey. And, to help us, so maybe the 27th is the last possible date, and we can work our way forward as I'm proven wrong.
Would have been, I assume, probably before the doctor went mad. In fact, if I remember, our transmission included the words "found something." Yes.
Good in quarantine.
Is I'm going around and gathering ID tags again. Do I find Corey's?
No.
I'm starting to get the strange feeling that wasn't that message garbled a bit?
Highly garbled, yeah.
There's a non-zero chance that that help us comment was missing a couple words, as in do not.
Here, let's take a listen.
This is Corey transmission. We found helpless.
Possible to tell there. And regardless of whether it said don't help them or not, we're down here now.
Mm-hmm. So if nothing else, we need to help ourselves.
While we're on the idea of sneaking suspicions, Captain, there was no sign of Dr. Corey on the ground, yes?
No sign.
We'll just point at the glass pane. Any chance?
Non-zero.
One way to find out.
Really high too.
All right. Might be time to get our hands dirty, right?
Damn. Fine.
One of us should go lock up inside the doctor's office. Worst come to worst, we keep this thing stuck in here.
We got 2 spare folk. Aren't much for fighting.
All right, then.
We should do that.
Agreed. Lila, can you hear me?
No.
Doorway.
There she is.
Head to the doctor's office. Behind the desk, there's a control panel. It should be able to quarantine lock the whole room if anything goes poorly here. Stay there. Watch the cameras. If things get poorly, press the lock.
Jay nods and trying not to really look at them. Most of the room where there's a ton of gore and bodies and they're right down the hallway. Join her.
All right, then, Captain. That means you're the call. I'm on your signal.
Piss, shit, fucking garbage. God damn it.
Couldn't agree more. Okay.
I need to find other D20s before we do this because we're not. My dice have been saying nope all night.
Hang on, I'm prop acting.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Can I hit the button?
Hit the button.
Button press.
Dude, I'm unloading. I am immediately
Start
fucking
shooting.
unloading.
Yeah, I think
I'm
everybody's
dumb.
just unloading.
I'm not. I'm on making.
Making. Alright, who's taking the first?
The friend shot first. I feel like that makes more sense.
Who?
Who shot
I
first?
said friends shot. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all shot before I ran in, so I figure y'all shot probably resolved before I go do some.
Yeah. I'll shoot first with
negotiating.
Petunia.
Playing. Give him some
I am using a
Petunia.
void point. I am using a void point. What the fuck? There we go. A goddamn 17. Ah.
Roll your damage.
Yeah, just a second.
Bang, 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 bang.
Exactly. Okay. Roll my damage. 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay.
All right,
Who are you
who
pop-hearted to?
Who's got the next biggest gun?
Well, I have Tomoe's service pistol.
Yeah.
So 1d6 damage.
All
Go
right.
for it.
And that is tech to shoot, correct? Or is it dexterity?
Tech.
Tech, okay. All right, that would be a 16.
What's that damage roll?
And that would be a 6.
We love maximum damage.
I think there's a thing that you get if you roll. I'm thinking of something else.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that's a
How's
total
one
of
of
9
these?
damage on this guy.
Okay.
Damn.
All right. Gavin, what you got on you?
I've got a pistol.
A vacuum pistol, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and suck this guy, Gavin? Give it to him. You all choose to be my friend, by the
I
way.
can send us into a mission with a button. I don't know if you want. Anyway. No, dice, don't go far away. Unless it was a really good roll. No. It doesn't count. Didn't go in the curse box. 11 plus 2 for 13.
Alright, roll your damage.
Alright, coming in. 4. Thunk.
That's that. Alright, who's next?
Well, I have to throw it over to my brother.
I do like things being thrown over to me, especially from my brother. Guns are great and all, but sometimes you just need a really, really heavy tool and your own muscles. So I'm gonna
Be a
combine
world
those two
eater.
things to glorious effect. Exactly. The rolling plus body. I got a 12 on the die plus a 3 for a 15.
Stellar. I'm looking up because I don't remember. Okay.
How much health the guy has?
Not how much health, how much damage your weapon does.
Oh, I had it written down. It's 1d8 plus my body.
Yada yada yada.
My see, it's catchy.
Rock.
Having said
Your
that,
roll.
I rolled max damage for 11 damage.
How do you want to finish this?
No, so this thing got like a head, general cranial area.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Then I imagine just like as people are just like putting shots on it, it kind of like starts fumbling out of the way, kind of like doubles over a little bit. Drops a hand down. I'm just kind of right over top of it. Bring that jack up and just you shouldn't exist. And I just smash down, gore and blood and grossness all over the suit, fucking up my drip. You mean? But like that's how it goes. That's how it happens, in my opinion. Objections? In favor. The motion carries then.
One big splat.
Do love it when I splat big things. Vermin, you know this after last night. That sounded a lot worse than it was supposed to. Good lord. I killed a bee, Dad. We were talking on Discord. There was a bee in my room. I killed a bee.
Yeah. Please don't make your girlfriend mad at me for things I didn't do.
Hi, I'd like to change the
The
subject of
breakdown,
this
I'm
conversation. Gavin's gonna move over to the corpse and we'll begin trying to take some samples with like full glove and containment.
I'm very unfortunately going to go over there and look for a key card.
Do that. I'm
Well,
going
where's a
to,
tag hanging around its neck?
I'm just gonna go ahead and start giving these guys a Viking funeral. Well, the closest thing I can to a Viking funeral.
Yeah, if there's a
Inside?
tag around the neck, I've got that knife on my shoulder. I got Moby Bitch. Let's go.
Captain.
It is Janice
Agent.
Harold.
Okay, thank God. I mean, that's not great, but
You know what would be worse than coming here to a facility that has a repeated distress signal, but it's not a distress signal, it's a stay the fuck away signal? If the
I
person who
don't
sent
know
the
what would be
distress
worse than
signal
that.
fully knew what kind of bullshit hellscape we were walking into and led us here deliberately anyway.
Yeah, that does sound worse, actually, significantly. So this isn't a rescue operation. It's a trap.
We'll know if and when we find Corey, I guess. Gavin, get your samples.
Already on it.
Do your tests. See if there's anything you can learn that we don't already know. I trudge around the corpse and look into the quarantine lab and try and see if there's anything of note in here.
Mostly unintelligible, what looks like maybe writing, drawings on the wall. A couple of places where it looks like something was banged against the wall over and over, much like glass pane. And looking at the state of Harold's skull, even before Tamari caved it in, looks like likely she had been banging her head quite literally against the wall.
Yep. That was my guess. You wager our now headless friend did this before they had their makeover.
But other than that, the room is empty. Like she was the only one that was in there. Everything got locked down.
Well, we've confirmed one thing. The going mad and ranting about things, writing in one's own blood on the wall, seeing hallucinations of dead loved ones. That appears to be a first stage. He kind of nudges the big, gushy flop with the jack. That would appear to be stage 2, or a final stage.
God's multifaceted fucking ass.
I could not have said it more clearly myself, Captain. You are, as always, well articulated amongst us.
Shut the hell up. I need
Apologies.
to go stew. You're.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
This will be heavy on all of us. Take all the time you need. I'll be here when you're ready.
Faye is just going to go into the waiting room, and if there's anything resembling an intact chair, she just slumps into it. Hell yeah.
Samoa is just going to stare down at the messy collection of flesh that was once Janet and just look in the way one looks at the way in which they're pretty sure they're going to die. And then just looks up at his brother and doesn't say anything.
Not looking at anyone at the moment, just taking some samples, some blood and tissue.
I think as we let our team recover, we're going to take a few minutes and go recover ourselves. Be back in a few minutes, guys.
All right.
So, we're back, and we have had our reprieve, although some of us had more fun than others. We're not the reason behind anyone's drinking problem.
It's not a problem until I run out.
But so we tune back in. Gavin is collecting samples from Janice's body. Faye has found a chair to settle down in the other room. Moe is just hanging out as much as, and Teo, I believe, is Viking piring bodies.
Yep, piling them up so I only have to use one foosh on them.
The old one foosh stack.
Look, you break me on break, I break you on live.
I just whoosh
This is
stack.
revenge.
The old whoosh stack. You know, you've been there.
Lord.
Ain't we all been there?
Looking at the consequences of my action. Oh boy, that's a fuck point.
Right.
It never ends.
Okay. Anyway. I leave this point to you.
As I'm cutting this open, I mean, what does this look like? I mean, we've seen these things carcinogenized, but these have always seemed larger, stranger. I mean, how much does this even resemble a human being anymore?
Namely in form, you can tell that as you're looking closer at it, it does have an overall human-like skeleton. But almost like the joints have become distended, so everything is a little bit longer. Joints are ending up double jointed, so the limbs move in different ways than what would normally be possible.
So, I have a. You mentioned other corpses in the area have various levels of infection.
Yes.
Could I, looking around the room, create a timeline of not necessarily the exactly how it works? Obviously, the area in which that's infected causes the start of the necropsy, and
I'm sorry. Are you gonna line them up and do the bimboification post, but with the crab men?
I was
Okay,
hoping to not necessarily line them up because I want to keep physical interaction. But I would love to go through the live primetime carcinization, necrocarcinization of the human form by
What did you call
looking
it?
at my friend and brother. It's a good place to stop the joke called a stop point. Anyway, but I do want to get an idea of how this changes the body. I mean, is this like something. I guess the question is, does this look like a forced almost evolution into a separate stage of life, or or is this something that is completely changing the genetic makeup of these people? Like, is this a virus that, or something that's like, breaking down DNA, or shifting it, I guess is the best way to put it.
So, not necessarily lining them up, but kind of looking through the bodies and probably stopping Teo from burning more so that you can actually look at them. The way you can kind of trace it is that from the point of an injury, the necrosis almost spreads like a poison. And starting from that point, the skin becomes inflamed and starts to expand and kind of engulf. And it's almost... The best way I can answer that is it does look like it's a forced mutation that starts at the point of contact and then moves its way through the rest of the body.
Right. Like, it's purposely changing these folks into living means of replicating itself.
Yes.
It takes, yeah. So it takes their host, and I point at a very light infection. It changes them in such a way that they can more rapidly spread infection through open wounds. I mean, that's what we've seen. Beyond the initial few who, discovered it, mental effects notwithstanding, it seems to stem from open wounds. That's why we're seeing such aggressive forms from the infected, and the constant need to open and harm. It wants to be spread biologically, and it needs to do that maybe through the blood, or at the very least through living tissue. Well, I can't recommend eating it, but this looks like it's making them into weapons. At the very least to keep itself going. This is...
Should I be concerned that you considered eating them?
No, he just does that a lot.
I just mentioned it because sometimes when folks mention it, go through blood, say, oh, well, saliva, and, don't think nothing about it because they consider our stomachs, human stomachs being the vat of volatile acid that it is. Nothing could possibly... Point being, I don't know why this would be impacting you, though, and I point at Tao.
That is a good point. It may have been a mistake, connecting to what might have been an alien computer system back in the tunnels. That might have been it.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. We've never met aliens in our millions of years of existence.
Alive, that is. I do distinctly remember there being reports of fossilized bacteria on Mars back in the early 20s, the early 2000s.
Well, there you go. It could still be aliens, just very, very tiny aliens that have been sleeping a long, long while till someone went and woke them up. Then those aliens want to make more aliens. So they did their darndest to work with what they had. Our slowly imperfect machines.
Meg Mysterious Ghosts of Mars.
Excuse me, we're on Phobos, thank you. Or some shit, right? Isn't that what the planet's called?
Hades.
80s.
80s. I knew that shit. I knew that entirely.
You were in the right pantheon.
I was testing. It was a joke to test to make sure you knew still. You passed. Congrats.
Right. So, kind of toss up his, gives a big old, tosses his hands up, slaps down on his thighs. Now what? Head on engineering, get a signal out, see if they made any headway on repairs, and hope that whatever this isn't planet wide.
That would be communications. I think we were heading to engineering to see if we could get some useful materials.
All right. Either way. Anything else anyone got here?
Over comms, kind of quietly, you'll hear Faye say, as a reminder, we're here to collect medical supplies any that we can. Don't forget to do a thorough check of the treatment bay and the quarantine room.
I'm
Taylor
looking.
just does a visual freak, knowing that he can't see the blood. You sure we want to take these medical supplies? They might be compromised.
Assuming they're kept to galactic standard, they'd be sealed before any operational use. So unless they were actively being used, they should still be sealed. Worst case scenario, anything bagged, locked, or zipped away, take it. If it's out in the open, you can leave it if you want.
I'll give it a look over, but I'm not promising anything from the looks of this.
Don't need the best, just need your best.
All right. I'll look over the room for anything useful in regards to medical supply. Primarily antiseptics. Not that I even, antibacterial and something to, clean wounds as they're made, perhaps. Not that I think it's gonna work, but hey, keeps my tools clean.
Reasonable.
I can find
So,
easily antiseptic, cleansing alcohol. In the cabinets, there's gauze that's been, some of it's been untouched. Bandage patches, such both.
All right. Found what I can. Not sure we're getting much else.
I'll sleep through a quarantine once, real quick, just to see if there's anything useful here.
Any supplies that were in here is completely overturned.
Makes sense. Janice would have got a little bit messy before she turned. Anything useful information wise?
Not really.
Well, to bust in here, nothing useful. Whatever was helpful here, our friend turned over before they, turned. So let's finish looping around here and maybe consider not lingering around too long. We did make some noise to make it here, so I imagine we'll have company if we stick around here too much longer. I'm gonna step out for a moment. Just keep an eye on the front door. You two have better eyes for this kind of thing anyway. Sweep around. If anything with claws jumps out, scream, run. I don't know.
Give everything one final look over.
Much the same with what Tomoe found. Everything here is pretty much contaminated. As you are... Nah. You're good.
That's terrifying. Nope. Don't like, dislike greatly. Thank you.
I'm sorry. As someone who is scared, what?
As someone who feels
It's
fear,
nothing.
Okay. No, we're all fine. We're all fine. Everything's fine.
all right,
Nothing bad
all
will
right,
ever happen to
okay.
Gavin.
It'll never happen. I hope so. Not while I'm here, at
For
least.
next episode, you can clip here, everyone. Uh, all right. I'm getting all or nothing here.
Yeah, I think I'm done in here too as I look at a burning pile of corpses.
God, you had to light that in here. Some of us still have our olfactory senses intact.
We were told to not waste time.
All right. Well, hey, Ben, Delilah, you should all get out here.
Unless you like seafood that smells like people.
I thought for a second Meg was doing the thing where we don't hear anything from them, and
Yeah, and they're dead. They're like dead. That would have been real bad. That would have been
Not
bad.
that cruel. You would have heard something.
Hold on. You're exactly that cruel. Why are you
You're right, I
lying?
am that cruel.
I don't know why you just lied to us like that. Don't ever do it again, please. Thank you. Like, we're better friends than that. You have to lie to me like that anymore. It's okay. We're beyond that point.
Ben is gonna look at you, Gavin, and say, so I did some digging through the records in Bloodworth's office, and I noticed something. Everyone that they tested on, that they managed to get blood drawn, had absurdly high levels of cortisol. Now, I had to look that up. It's apparently like a stress hormone.
Cool. Okay, cool. I was doing it right that moment, so thank you for saving the Google search.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
And it would correlate with the hallucinations we believe might also be a side effect. I imagine seeing dead loved ones would lead to no small amount of stress for someone.
Or that's how this thing makes sure your blood flow is going fast enough to propagate itself.
Certainly true.
Platelets can't be sent to wounds. White blood cells won't. Well, that's not necessarily true, I suppose.
Correct.
Unless you're. Oh boy. Anyway. Too much stress will definitely hurt, but good catch, Ben.
Yeah, no problem. So, we heading out again?
Guess so. Where are we sailing off to here, Captain?
no response ever comes.
Captain?
Engineering is the plan. Let's sat up for a bit. Take some time to gather up your supplies. Deep breath. If you have any snacks, step out in the bay with less blood and eat them. And we'll get moving in 15. Captain's on arrest. It is impossible to not hear the smile in Smelly's voice.
Alright. I'll move over and just motion for the two tag-alongs to follow me as we wait by the door. Gonna see Faye's situation.
Yeah, Tamori's just going to just drop.
Do
sit
what?
In the, just drop it over here in the corner and sit with his back to the wall and just thinking.
Yeah, Faye is sitting on that bench, like, knees apart, elbows on knees, cane across lap, just like forehead into hands, just kind of thinking. Stuck in own brain.
Damn. Food.
You be
Guess
stuck
I'll walk.
in no brain.
Guess I'll walk over the collective. Well, Captain and Taylor are taking the 15 over there. Status report? How we holding up?
Looks at you and goes, Peachy Keen.
Lila, bro.
We said, all smiles on board.
There's a very half-hearted attempt at a smile.
Oh, look at that. Light up a room with that kind of thing. Let me know what for you unleash something like that on us. I'm holding up alright. Got something good from this at least. A little bit more information. A little bit less than maybe I'd like, but... Oh well, it's good to know they were just as confused as we were, I guess.
This meal is some meal. We'll figure this out bit by bit.
Bit by bloody bit, yeah.
You aren't lying. Rest up, snack up. I'll grab you before we leave out.
Alright, I'll be here.
Oh, no, he'll just centralize himself somewhere, I guess, and be all big stone boulder the way he usually is.
About 15 minutes pass in mostly quiet contemplation. What are we feeling?
Near the end of the 15 minutes, Faye, like, still leaning over, kind of wipes up one eye, stands up, leans forward and lifts the eye patch, and just, like, water falls out.
That happen often.
How many times have you seen Faye really sad?
Don't know. How often does Faye open up to Moe? It's a question.
You've probably not seen her do this very much.
I guess I'll take a look around and slowly slink over. Captain.
Tomoe?
Permission to speak freely.
Granted.
You're burning yourself out.
And she, like, almost corners you with that one yellow, like, cat slit eye. Tomoe, I'm not burning myself out. We're in an impossible situation. And it's my fault that we're here, ultimately. We vote as a crew, but I'm the captain. I'm responsible for all of you. And this? Normally when you lose somebody in the line of duty, it's already over before you really have a chance to think about it, and you deal with it later. Hopefully it won't come to that, but if it doesn't, we don't have the luxury.
None of that's untrue. Can't imagine it's easy for you. And I empathize. I do. The follow-on question then is, what are you gonna do about it? I figure your options seem limited. I won't disagree with that. But the way I see it, and I'm no captain, so I don't think that for it to mean anything special, but we can either scrounge whatever we have and scrape some way out of here on bloody knuckles and hope for it, or curl up and die here.
Tomoe, if it comes down to it, how do you want me to do it?
Chest preferably. Mother said I had a pretty face, and not in front of Gavin. That's all I ask. Thank you, if it helps.
If it helps, what?
Make it easier.
It doesn't, but for what it's worth, I'm sorry.
That does help. It's been an honor, Captain. You know that, right?
That's my line. I don't want any of those fucks as my first mate. So it better not come to that.
That an order?
Damn straight.
You know I'll follow it. As you were, ma'am?
Faye cracks her neck. All right, you layabouts. We gotta get moving.
You heard the captain. On your feet.
Been off my feet.
And if there's a scene, Teo, that you wanted, that could be simultaneous to the conversation that Tomoe and Faye had. I don't know if that's something that you were looking for there.
There was an idea, but at the same token, it's kind of hard for it to be simultaneous because it would require one of you, either or at least somebody, to talk to Teo.
And
Okay.
it could be right afterwards, as we're gathering up to move.
Faye will come over to help you up.
So, when you come over, Teo's still on the ground, like he's still contemplative, but he's like leaned against the wall, head tilted up, and he's in his hand. He's just idly just playing, I guess would be the best word, with Tamori's service gun. And without even changing his position, when you come over, he says, I lied, Faye.
It's a new one. What about?
Remember when, right before all of this happened, you had asked me if I had run the numbers, and I said I didn't remember?
Yeah.
I remembered. I ran those numbers way too many times for me to ever forget.
And what was the answer?
Would never have been good for either side, but if mine had fought fair, yours would have won.
What do you mean fought fair? When I was still just a tactical I made a lot of plans. I advised a lot of plans. I even executed a few of them. We played so very dirty. Kind of why I joined up with your crew. I guess I wanted to balance the sheets a bit before I finally bit the final bullet. I don't think that's going to happen, though. You know what's really funny? Tell me.
I know I'm compromised. I know at some point I'm going to be a threat to this continued mission. But just some small, itsy tiny line of code stops me from doing the necessary math to solve for it. I really don't want to put pressure on any of you, but Gavin wouldn't do it, and Tamori would hesitate.
If it comes down to it, how do you want it done?
Quick and clean, right between the eyes.
I can respect that. You know, I've never blamed you for what happened in the war. I want you to know that. We were both just doing what we were made for.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish you would, though.
If you got a problem with fate, take it up with God.
I think he already has a long enough list of complaints. A few more would just go unnoticed.
Who knows? Maybe if enough of us die pissed off, we can break down those pearly gates. Come on.
That would be a joke. Alright, yeah. He takes your hand and let you help him up. Alright. Let's keep going.
As everybody starts to walk away, Faye will flip out the chamber on her revolver, count her shots, and then check her pockets to see how many she has left. And then tuck them away.
Running low.
Yeah.
My cat just
Yeah.
knocked over my dice.
What'd they roll?
Let's see.
Yeah, it's looking like.
How bad is it for us?
That means we win, right?
Well, it was a nat 1 on the d20, so.
That means we win. Yeah, that's it. That's the we win
The
button.
crabs eat shit. Let's
There it
go.
is. All the crabs just die. They all die at one time immediately. They all spontaneously die of death.
Okay. So you guys are gathering up, getting ready to move out, but the question still remains: where are you going?
Oh, we talked about engineering. Headed over there. Yes. Next, yes.
I thought the plan was communications.
Communications
So we took the tower.
next.
That.
Colin.
Yes.
Yeah.
That. Communications, and then
Because
I guess
whatever
engineering.
happened with that signal, it wrecked our rig as we were coming down.
Right. Fair enough. So we got the comms. Stop it. Get the engineering. Get the rest of our parts to get the ship together, and then maybe put our bird back together.
Reach out to the Shrike.
Comms and then engineering, correct?
Comms, then engineering.
Okay.
Comms, and then engineering.
You guys gather yourselves and start to head out. What's the marching order look like?
I'd say captain leads by default, right?
Uh, uh, Captain's gonna send Tom away first.
Hey,
Sorry,
designated
pal.
meat shield, doing my job.
Not to be especially grim to
It's all right.
our fellow players, but you send the person who's already assumed to be dying at the end of this first.
I'm also a slab of body yaddy yaddy, so that's fair. You want me in front of you in most cases.
Fair. Given that logic is I'm next in the marching order.
Sounds good to me. Faye will be next. Actually, Faye will hold up the rear so that the civilians are in some kind of a sandwich.
Pavilion sandwich.
Love a
Mhm.
civilian
Civilian
sandwich.
sandwich.
Look, it's not the first time we've thought about sandwiching Delilah. Or Ben.
Wow.
Mm.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
Did she just lose her fiance?
so she's
She
single.
did.
Look, it was just a stupid joke. I didn't mean it.
Much like that, right?
Yeah, looks about
Yeah,
right.
that looks correct.
Right?
The one thing I'm gonna leave off on is Gavin, as you move to fall in line, feels like something grabbed your shoulder.
I like move real quick, like responding to that.
There is nothing there.
What the hell was that?
Oh no.
You alright, Gav?
I felt like someone jumped at me. I look at the shoulder that had been grabbed.
It's clean. Nothing there.
Jeez Louise. This place fucking with my head.
Keep it on straight then, all right? Just a little bit longer. We'll get out of here.
I'm not the one to be worried about. Until just now, but still. Oh boy. This thing's airborne.
As we start walking, Faye is gonna let Gavin get a few more steps ahead of her and compulsively check how many bullets she has again.
Someone's gonna need a new crew.
You guys make your way back to the transit tunnels.
Oh, the fucking worst. Okay.
Yeah, the transit tunnels. But
Why, yes, here again.
that is going to be where we end off tonight.
Awesome.
Thanks for that.
I'm not
You're
terrified.
welcome.
It's not just the characters' cortisol levels that are elevated.
I just learned what cortisol is, and I know I have too much within my body right now.
Damn
Why
you,
are you
Meg.
groaning, Shock?
You fine GM.
What do you mean? Why am I groaning?
I mean, I
That
agree.
worked
You're both
perfectly.
fine and good at GMing, so that's fair.
That is it for the night, guys. So we're going to go ahead and I'll let my players do their sign-offs.
Right. That's probably gonna start with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No.
Okay. Well, then it won't start with me. I guess I'll throw it over to Foxy. I'll go at some point after.
Shut up. Do your stupid thing before I punch you in it.
Stupid. Anyway, hi everybody. I am Turk or Turk Accented. If you have raised cortisol levels, and only if you have raised cortisol levels. And I, of course, have had the continuing honor and privilege of playing Gavin Lapata, who is a medical officer now, which is an upgrade of sorts. If you want to see more of my face in the words I say, strange, but you can, of course, find me on Saturday. The time might be a little more liquid than intended, but Saturday, because we had such a successful fundraiser for the Call of Cthulhu Week, I have promised that I would play a scary stream. And I have... well, I intend to honor that. So, if you want a chance to spook me, this is a chance. There will be people in the place that I'm at that can be bribed, I'm certain. So if you know any of them. Anyway, on Sunday I'll be in a Masks game. It will be kind of a prequel to our previous one shot that we played Masks in, where I played the Shade. It was very fun. And of course, on Monday, I'll be right back here for more Oathsworn. Health of my players willing, we will get this episode out. I swear to all that is holy. I have held it off for far too long. There's only so long that my body can be without Greek mythology and high fantasy. So, yeah, that sounds good to you. Watch Oathsworn. And there's a lot more awesome projects in the works coming up soon. But usually I just retweet the awesome communities I'm a part of. So if you're interested in seeing what I do, do that. But honestly, better yet, follow all the awesome people you see on your screen here, because I hang out with a lot of them, a whole bunch. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to toss it over to Philly's Finest.
Hey, what's up? I'm Foxy. I'm one of the people Turk hangs out with sometimes. I do all kinds of cool stuff on the internet, and I'm usually found around there at Young Foxy, YUNGFOXXII. Sometimes there's no underscore in the middle, so if you can't find one, look for the other. The next place you'll see me officially, at least, is I guess technically next Saturday. Sorry, no, next Tuesday actually for another installment of Tears of Divinity: Minerva Exodus, our Lancer saga. They're 2 episodes in. They've met up with some cool people and are learning that there's a lot of fucked up things behind what's happening in this little planet of theirs. A lot of cool shit going on. Otherwise, I'm all around on Neon Lights Roleplay. You'll see me plenty throughout the month of October. I look forward to hanging out with more of you, and of course, I'll be right back here next month for more LT. I love you all very much. Take care of yourselves, and good night. Over to you, Jacques.
All right. Yes, I'm Shark Inferior. I reprised my role as Tao Shardy tonight. Yeah. The AI needs a hug. He really needs a hug one of these days.
I don't hug computer algorithms.
I do.
Thank you.
I'll
Turk.
think about it.
Yes.
I'm just a hugger.
But yes, that being said, I've had a lot of fun. I hope everybody did as well. Contemplating how a computer who cannot self-terminate, trying to figure out how to self-terminate. Yeah, that's painful actually. But moving right along, that's a topic that's very heavy, and we don't need that right now in all of us. So listen, you can find me over on Twitter at shockpoint622 and Blue Sky at shockpointfell. Very easy, very quick, very simple. The next time you'll be able to catch me, it would actually be this upcoming Sunday, the 15th, back over on Singularity with another episode of Breaking Neon. We are dealing with some pirate shit, and it's going oh so very poorly. Well, depends on your perspective, really. But after that, I'll be back to my normal schedule of Mondays and Wednesdays, and then you'll be able to catch me again on the 20th, also on Singularity, with another episode of Site 117G and the investigations thereof. So that's also going to be a fun thing to deal with. There's a few more things that I'm going to be popping up throughout the month, but that's really the major things that's coming up. I think that covers everything for right now, so I'm going to pass it on over to Vermin.
Hello, everybody. I am Legendary Vermin. You can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the places on the internet that matter, which of course includes Itch, Twitch, Blue Sky, YouTube, Tumblr, and the former bird site known as .com. We have some games coming up later this month. If you want to see me doing more stuff like this, specifically on the 28th, I am going to be running a game of Trophy Dark with our very own Meg Mysteria. Except our roles are reversed. I shall be the torturer, and Meg shall be the torturee. Yeah. Anyway, you can also catch me next month on the 6th of November for our next episode of The World Within You. Our bass-boosted spray paint splattered take on Voidheart Symphony. Everyone's favorite soundtrack for less than 1 year running. Also, the next game I'm going to be in besides that will be this, once again, last transmission on the 9th of November. If you want to see stuff that I wrote, because I am a game designer, you can go to legendary-vermin.itch.io, where you can find all sorts of games, large and small, a little bit of smutty stuff, ooh, and the rules text for No Amount of Armor, which is a mecha RPG that is being run on this very channel by our most lovely Foxy. And oh, one last thing. On the 14th of next month, Camp Runner's Cross picks up again over on Singularity Roleplay. And that is another horror game run by Meg, where gay teens are in trouble and probably gonna get mortaled.
Oh no, not mortal.
Mortaled to death. Anyway, I think that's all I've got on the short-term, long-term calendar. So I'll throw it over to our most delightful of facilitators, Meg Mysteria.
Hello, everybody. I am Meg and/or Meg Mysteria, and I was your game mother tonight. I put the fear of God into my players. Call that a shock point.
That's how you bring it back around. That's it. Well done. Well done. Meg Mysteria got it on lock point. Hell yeah.
All right. Well, you can't find me
It's
as
about to be a
shock point,
drunk
but you
point.
can. You can find me as Meg Mysteria on all the places that matter. I'm stealing Vermin's lines now on Twitch, on Twitter, on Itch. I'm on Blue Sky as well. Ask me to maintain multiple social medias. It does not work. but where you can find me coming up next is going to be over on Singularity Roleplay. Yes, this Sunday for next episode of Breaking Neon, our City of Mist campaign. We're doing a supplement written by our GM called Dead Men Tell No Tales. After that, you can find me on the 24th and the 26th, still over on Singularity, where I'm bringing back Alien for Halloween. So if you like this, you like sci-fi, you like horror, you like me running sci-fi horror, I'll be bringing back my favorite franchise. But it's not gonna be what you think it is. That's the only hint I'm giving, because Shock is one of my players. But after that, I'll be right back here on the 28th for Trophy Dark with Vermin, who's gonna torment me and get me back for all the shit that I've put her through this week. So I'm right. You can't tell me otherwise. It's gonna happen. But that's it for tonight, folks. We have a raid target picked out.
I'll figure it out.
Lost Caravan is live, but I don't know how long they're gonna be live.
Long enough. That's the wrong button. Sorry.
Long enough.
Jump the gun. My bad.
All right. Well, looks like we're gonna shoot a raid over the Lost Caravan, so that will be it from us tonight, guys. Have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Or don't. I'm not your dad.
Or don't, you know.
I could be, if you ask.
Get your
No,
stress.
I'm demanding you do actually. Fuck you.
Get your cortisol levels under control.
Yeah, you weirdos. Anyway.
All right. Take us
love
out of
you all.
there.
Bye.
Mwah.
Come on.